We shall now start taking a look at how to write programs in C++. But first, we shall take a look at it on paper in the sense understand the concepts behind every word in a program, and then subsequently I shall show you how to type a program and how to run and get the output of a program on the Turbo C++ environment or the integrated development environment. So the idea here is try to discuss most of the programs or all of the programs conceptually on paper, and then whichever programs are assigned for your practicals, do a live demonstration in Turbo C++ integrated development environment, so you tend to get an idea of how to write programs, how to correct errors, how to run and get the output, and so on. But having said that, a small message for you. Please type and run every program on your own. Unless you type and practice running your program, you're not going to learn programming. Programming is all about typing, making mistakes, learning from the mistake, correcting them, and running the program. So even the simple ones, don't assume it's too simple and I'm going to leave it. That's where your problem really starts. Start typing in each and every program, whether it's in the lab or not, and execute and see whether you're getting the right output. So let's take a look at two programs in this session. The first program is to find the sum of two numbers, and the second one is to convert a temperature given in Fahrenheit into degrees Celsius. So the first program I'm going to first try to take a look at now is how do you go about addition of two numbers. Before I jump into the program, I am going to go ahead and discuss the steps and see how the steps can be converted line by line into a program. The first, in order to add two numbers, I need a variable called as a and a variable called as b. I can give any names to these a and b. I can say n1, n2 and so on. These two variables are going to store the first and second number respectively. Then sum is going to store the result of a plus b. So after I identify the data types and number of and name of variables, I can go to the next step. So in this case, my data types are going to be integer a, integer b, and sum is also an integer. Then in order to calculate the sum, I need some input. So I'm going to say read numbers into two variables a and b. Once you read the variables, it is quite easy. You can compute the sum as a plus b. And then finally, you can display the sum on the screen. So this is the way you go about understanding or developing the logic on paper, and then it's really easy to convert it into a program. The first thing is you have to type these three lines, and let me explain each line. This iostream.h header file contains the object declarations of scene and cout, which are used for input and output respectively. Now console input output, con.io stands for console input output. Now whenever you're running a program, the screen is already having a lot of information from the previous work you have done. So console input output or con.io.h contains code which cleans your screen so it starts from a blank screen. Int main every C++ program is going to have. Step 1, I have declared the names of and data types of variables. Integer a, b, comma, sum, all are ints, and the names are a, b, and the data type is int. What is the next step? I am doing the clear screen. Why I am doing clear screen? Because whatever I was working on previously will be on the screen, and just to get a clean output so that I can see what was the input entered for this program and what was the output produced, I am using the clear screen method or function. Clear screen model or prototype is declared in con.io.h. Then next I ask using cout enter two numbers. So the user is going to enter two numbers. Then once I enter two numbers, so here if you see step 2, read two numbers. Here also I have entered two numbers. So how do I read two numbers? Using the stream extraction operator cin function. stream extraction operator into A and B. Into variable A, the first number, into variable B, the second number. Then step number 3, calculate the sum. Step number 3 here also is sum is A plus B. Just see how similar you can convert thought process into code. Just the syntax is there, full stop, these operators, double quote and all. But the logic is important. These, if they are bothering you now, these commas, semicolon and all, initially just for a week or two, but later on it will just come up as a habit. That's the reason you just need to keep typing code and keep typing so that you understand how to get it. Then I want to show the result. So to display the sum, what am I doing? I am using cout. Cout, the sum of two numbers is. Don't press the enter key here. Since I am lacking space, I have pressed the enter and I am showing it on the next line. You have to just keep typing continuously. The sum of two numbers is sum. Whatever was entered, A plus B, goes into sum. So after the sum is displayed, the end line I have used as a manipulator so that the cursor goes to the next screen. One thing I should include iomanip.h, because iomanip.h contains the model or the prototype of this particular fellow. Then once I run the output, when you're running the output on Turbo C++ compiler or the integrated development environment, after you run it, it will come back to you. So in order to freeze the screen so that you can see what input and output was entered, you use the getch character. What the getch character does is it holds the screen for you to see the output, and once you're satisfied with the output, you can press any key, you will come back to the integrated development environment. This will be clear when I show you a demo program for this particular one. In the first demo program, I'll explain all these basic concepts so you get it clear. Then this return 0 will be clear once we come to something called as user defined functions. All that it indicates return 0 now is that the program executed successfully to here, and I am returning 0 to the operating system, which is Windows, indicating that everything went fine. If this program failed, I could have returned say -1. So a 0 indicates a success, any other value indicates failure or error in running the program. There are different error codes. 2 could be some error code, 3 could be some error code, and so on. And this indicates the end of this particular program. So I hope you understood how to read numbers and how to find the sum of two numbers. Now what we shall do is I shall now take a look as to how we go about trying to find or trying to convert the temperature in Fahrenheit to temperature in Celsius. Alright, so what I shall do for that is, again we shall first discuss the logic and then we shall take a look at this particular problem. So in order to convert the temperature from Celsius to Fahrenheit, or sorry, from Fahrenheit to Celsius, let's go about taking a look at the logic. First is identify the data types and names of the variables. I require two variables of the data type float because it can be 50.5 Fahrenheit, 60.3 Celsius and so on. So I need to declare two variables. One I can say CL for Celsius, FH for Fahrenheit. Then next what I can say is read the value of Fahrenheit, which I want to convert to Celsius. And then what I do is I say Celsius is, this is a standard conversion formula. 5 upon 9 into Fahrenheit minus 32 will give you the equivalent value in Celsius. So suppose I give some value in Fahrenheit, using this formula I am going to get the value in Celsius. Step number 4, I am going to print the value in Celsius and then I am going to halt. Now let's take a look how this particular program is converted, or how this logic is converted into a program. So step number 1, as I told you, I am declaring two variables, FH to hold the value of Fahrenheit, CL to hold the value of Celsius. I am clearing the screen so that I am able to start afresh and I am able to see only the output of the current program or the input of the current program on the screen. Enter the value in Fahrenheit. So using cin, I am entering or reading value into a variable called as Fahrenheit. Then after this, I have to use what? The formula to convert Fahrenheit into Celsius. So here what I am doing, I am saying Celsius CL is equal to 5 upon 9 into FH minus 32. Do not simply type 5 upon 9. At least make one of them floating point. The reason is, if you do 5 upon 9, it treats it as integer division. 5 upon 9 becomes 0, not 0 point something. So make one of them 5.0 and leave 9 as it is, or make both of them 5.0 and 9.0. So this way the division happens as a real number division, and you get whatever is the fractional value, 0 point something like that is given to you, which is multiplied with this. Then I am going to display the value in Fahrenheit as well as in Celsius. FH displays the entered value of Fahrenheit. CL displays the converted value of Celsius. So it's saying, say for example, 100 Fahrenheit is equal to 30 Celsius, and then the cursor goes to the next line. Get CH to hold the screen so that you can see the output, and return 0 to indicate your program has run or executed successfully.